If you or someone you know has diabetes, you may have built up an extra supply of test strips and lancets. That's where we come in. We'll buy the supplies that you don't need and resell them to those in need to prevent waste. Help us make diabetes management more affordable. Visit us at teststripswithaz.com.
Who's back on the show, ladies and gentlemen? Look at this guy. Takes a fight on 5 days' notice. Biggest underdog on the card. The man does exactly what he said he would do. He gets a lot of extra money. He's part of this big media frenzy now. Was just on Ariel's show a little earlier, and now he's here back on this show. Tristan Connelly, how are you, man?
I'm doing great, man. Top of the world. Top of the world.
I bet you're like this instant superstar right now. Everybody wants to be in the Tristan Connelly business. We're all a bunch of Johnny-come-latelys. This is something else. Life's changed a little bit, has it not?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's still pretty surreal. I mean, other than all the media that I'm doing today, everything's planned on being the same. You know, you're gonna ask me what I'm gonna do with the money, but like I put it in the bank. Like if you know what real estate costs where I live, it's not really enough to do anything. Me and my wife bought a condo like fairly far outside of Vancouver, like about an hour drive outside of Vancouver, in a place called Langley, because it was the only place we could afford. It was still near $500,000 for a 2-bedroom condo out there. Like in the city for a 1-bedroom condo is over $1 million. So putting it in the bank, we'd like to move closer and get a townhouse eventually, but I need a few more fights like that before I can even think about that.
Still a pretty darn cool 48 hours for you, because you beat Michel Pereira. You pull off the big upset, and I know it wasn't a big surprise for you, but can you put into words what Saturday night was like for you?
I mean, it was awesome, but a fight's a fight, and the reaction from the people I know is generally the same, right? They're always like, it's the people that I know that I can gauge the reaction, and every time I fight, my people that know and care about me are always there and support and sending me all this love and everything. And so it obviously there's a lot more messages, a lot more noise to filter through. But overall, man, fight's a fight. I'm getting punched in the face in front of 20,000 people, or getting punched in the face in a parking lot. It's kind of the same thing. I mean, the story around it's amazing. It's kind of really cool to have everything come together the way it's come together. Like it's like one of my corners, Dan. He told me, he's like, if this was a movie, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here. This bullshit, get this Hollywood bullshit out of my face. Like, this isn't real. There's no way. Like, they're all the things. I'm 33. I was 5-5 at 29. Like, no reason to keep fighting other than the fact that I just love to keep fighting. Never thought anything would happen. I find out Saturday that someone's out. Doesn't look like I'm going to get it. UFC is I'm too small. This guy's too big. They're too scared to let me in. I didn't find it till Monday night. Like, there's just one thing, and then I get it, and then he misses weight. And he's like, "What?" The people keep saying, "Oh, did you find his style disrespectful?" I'm like, "No, not at all. Like, it's what he has made him to the show." And honestly, it makes it even more awesome. It's like, after everything else, he comes in and he's backflipping and doing all this crazy stuff, which I knew he was going to do. And I relied on him doing that. And I knew that's why he would gas out and I'd be able to win the fight. I thought I would be able to make a break and quit, but I didn't, man. He was tougher than I thought. It really was. But the game plan worked to a T. I knew as soon as I just got him a little bit more tired than me, then I could put my pace on him, put him into my fight. And that's what I did. And now we're here.
When he missed weight on Friday, how did you react to that? What is going through your mind when you get this news that he missed?
Sweet, I got an extra couple grand because he missed weight, and that means he struggled. Then means he struggled, and so it's just music to my ears.
I know you just mentioned you saw it on fight night, the big entrance, the craziness of that first round, but what really threw me off was at the ceremonial weigh-in when he did the backflip off the scale. I mean, you're clapping along at the show like everybody else is doing, but he landed kind of awkwardly, did he not? Like, were you like, you have to be freaking kidding me right now? Don't hurt yourself, dude.
No, he missed it. Yeah, don't hurt yourself. Well, he always does a backflip. I knew that. I knew that going in, and they have us all lined up there, waiting to go out. And he doesn't speak English, so we're talking to the translator. Michel is like the nicest guy, man. The whole week, to me, he was nothing but an absolute sweetheart and a gentleman. Like, even after the fight, he's like, man, you obviously I'm sad I'm lost, but I'm happy you won, and I'm happy that that if I had to lose, then it was to someone like you, and that it's done all this for you. And he's like, I'm so happy that you got all that you get all the money. He's like, I screwed up. He's like, I'll be back, and he's super, super happy for me. No excuses made. Just said, yeah, man, that was your night to shine. He's like, everything happens for a reason. And he's like, it's an honor. So I got nothing but mad respect for Michel. I said, man, like, please don't ever lose your crazy, but maybe just don't do it all in like the first 3 minutes. Like, maybe fight normal and then throw that in every once in a while. And he's like, it'll be way better because you won't gas and it'll land better because it's not less predictable. Like, people say, oh, he's so unpredictable. Like, no, he's not. It's predictable that he's going to just jump at me, and that's not unpredictable when he always does it. And I relied on it. And if he didn't do that, that fight might have gone differently. I needed him to do what he did in the first round so I could wear him out and beat the bigger guy. Because, like, let's face it, he had probably had 30 pounds on me, and I needed him to use the energy. And I knew if you look, I didn't even try and hit him in the first round. I didn't really try. Like, I shot in, but I didn't put any energy into the shots. It was like, if I had got it clean, great. But like, I did not want to put any muscle into anything, because then I'm fighting all his muscle and I'm going to tire myself out. No, the game plan is just to make him work. I didn't want to try and hit him too much, because then I'd expose myself, and that's where you get counter. He's fast, he's explosive, and he's a sharp guy. So I couldn't stand there in front of him. So I had to be kind of just outside the pocket, but past kicking range. I had to play around in that distance with lots of feints up and down, hands coming out, like giving him openings, but being ready to close them. And I wanted him to hit me. I wanted him to get in there. Like, I was trying to block and make him miss. Wasn't too worried. I wanted to land some shots. I wanted him to feel good, like, oh, I'm hitting him. Because I knew I could take it. I knew as long as I was watching the punches coming in and then seeing them, and I wasn't trying to hit him where he would counter me, I knew I'd be able to take it, and he'd start feeling good. I wanted him to land those early couple shots and then have him go, okay, I'm going to kill this guy, and to go into his craziness and then use all this extra energy, because that was the game. But as soon as he starts going to craziness, get the fuck out. And then as soon as he did it, and I was like, okay, now he's done a bit. Now let's go to way. So he did that backflip, and I was like, and I saw him breathe up on him. Now it's my turn. Okay, let's go. And then it was my fight from that point on.
Did any of those shots, I mean, from watching on the screen, it looked like he got stung a couple of times. You're telling me a little bit different. You want him to hit you. Did he hurt you at all? Were you in any real danger from where you sit?
That one punch to the body, it got me on the right breath. It wasn't. I mean, his kicks and his punches were all hard. There's nothing about that. But that body shot hurt me because he caught me on a little bit of an in breath, and so it kind of got my wind a little bit. So that's why I backed off just to. Okay, I'm good, and recovered, got back in there.
Were you surprised about the approach in the second round, him taking you down, kind of putting you on your back, holding you down for a little bit? Did that throw you off at all?
It sure did. I did not expect him to take me down. But I also am not surprised, because I landed a couple really hard punches that I saw. Like, I saw his eyes a couple times, like, and I saw that like kind of look of worry, like, oh shit. And he started shooting. So, I mean, it's always a good sign when you make a striker shoot on you. I'm a grappler and he's a striker, and I made him shoot on me. So that means that my hands weren't the cleanest in this fight, because that wasn't the game plan. It wasn't to be tight and technical, because that's not what won me the fight in this case. What won me the fight was keeping him working, keeping him moving. And if you think I wasn't tired, I was absolutely tired, and more tired you get, the harder it is to stay tight and technical. But I knew that I had gotten him tired enough that I wasn't worried about anything hurting me anymore. Like, I got him just weak enough that I'm like, I can walk through it. That's why I dropped my hands, and I'm like, hit me, man. Like, you don't have it in you now. I took it out of you. So do what you want. I can take what you want. I'll take one to give one, because I can see that my ones are hurting you more. And I'm actually I was hitting him harder. That's why he had to shoot, because like I would have knocked him out had he not shot. It was the right move for him.
What was the conversation like in the corner between the second and third round? Because that round was all you. You got a couple of 10-8s on the judges' scorecards. What was that conversation like between you and your team?
he said, he's like, could be 1-1 right now. He's like, he's like, so let's make a point. He's done. He's got nothing left. Let's finish in this round. Let's just keep doing what we're doing. We're doing following the game plan. It's beautiful. Everything's working. Keep it going. Stay on. No rest. Let's go.
What's going through your mind when the final horn sounds after that impressive third round? Because you had to be feeling, and I know the judging in this game could be a little crazy. You had to be feeling pretty darn good that you did enough to get the win here.
I actually didn't know. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, they could have given him the first 2 rounds. I don't know. I'm like, fuck. I don't know. And I was also like, damn it. I've never been to a decision that I won. So I was like, I was 13 wins with 13 finishes. So I was like, 1, ruined that. 2, every time I've gone to judges, it hasn't gone my way. So a little nervous.
I know your teammate Cole Smith fought before you. He lost that split decision to Miles Johns. Did you watch the fight in the back? Like, I know you're getting ready for your fight, but sometimes seeing a teammate fight can either get you fired up if it goes well, or can kind of drain the energy a bit with the loss. Did you watch it? And if so, how did you react to that?
So it's probably all plays into how it was a perfect storm that I got to watch the first round that he kicked ass. And then USADA came in, and I spent the 10 minutes with them, and I didn't see the next 2 rounds, and I didn't see the end of the fight. So probably for the best because, I was obviously, my heart sank, and I shut that off right away. And, I came back in the back, and I looked at Cole. I'm like, gave him a hug. I was like, we'll talk later. He's like, no, go do your work. I'm like, not even gonna think about it right now, man. Well, don't. He's like, absolutely, right back to fucking my thing, and did worry about what I had to do.
You've had some big moments in your career. You're going to have some more big moments in your career. You may even become a UFC champion. Who knows where this is all going to end up, but it's going to take something pretty special to overtake what happened on Saturday, right? Like, I'm sure it didn't defeat your wedding day or anything like that, but this is right near the top as one of the best nights of your life. Fair to say?
Yeah, it absolutely was. A huge life-changing experience. I mean, at the end of the day, it felt just like a fight. Like, obviously, everything else, it was awesome going to the green room and having someone come to me and say, John Cavanaugh wants to take a picture with you, like, right now, please. I'm like, what? Wait a second. This is backwards. What the fuck's going on here? Like, I should be the other way around. So, and having, like, walking in the back, be like, hey, giving Gaethje a fist on the floor, and she'd be like, man, you're crazy. I'm like, oh, like, half of what, what you've done. He's like, dude, I've only ever done half of what you just did. Like, that's crazy. So, having Cowboy and all these guys just fucking, like, Uriah Hall, these superstars just being, like, fucking blown away and being like, you're fucking the madman and loving it. So I'm overwhelmed with all the support and love, and it's awesome. But in the end of the day, it's just another day. I got a job to do, and I got to get back to work.
I know we're running out of time here. Your media tour continues, but
yeah.
There are going to be young fighters out there. There's some guys who have been at this for a while who are probably watching this video right now wondering when their time's going to come. The ups and downs of this sport, more than most, can suck the life out of people for sure. For those who are like that, for those that want to make it to the UFC, accomplish their dream, for those who think the door may be closing on them, what advice would you give them after what you just did on Saturday?
First of all, that shouldn't be your goal, because if that's your goal, you're going to fail. You can't have that as your goal, because if that's your goal, then it's a very, very steep goal. It's very hard to get to. You're probably going to fail. And that means your motivation is wrong. So that's not your motivation. Only motivation should be that you love doing it. Because if you don't love fighting and love the training and love the whole thing, you're never going to make it, because the guy that does will. So, if you love it, do it because you love it. Stick with it. And, because it ain't who's best always. It's who's left.
Congratulations, Tristan. Incredible stuff. Very happy for you. And it looks like you're going to have to step up your Twitter game a little bit now that you're a winning UFC fighter.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, oh, man, I don't even know how to tweet. It's weird. It's just, whatever reason, West Coast Canada, no one uses Twitter. Sorry, phone's going off here. No one uses Twitter over here. Like, it's all Instagram. I barely even use Instagram, so I'll have to get better at my social media.
There you go. Thank you, Tristan. We'll talk soon. Enjoy the win, my man.
Thank you, man. Thanks for the time.